I want to talk to you. Well, first of all, it's Danny here, if you don't know who I am. And today I want to talk to you about being tired as a mom and feeling overwhelmed or not really sure what to do, this like typical frazzle brain thing. And I totally get you. I have 5 kids. I'm very often tired and don't get enough sleep because I have a baby and I want to do other things. I'm a passionate person. I have a lot of things I want to accomplish and get done. So how do you do that all when you're feeling tired and overwhelmed? Well, today I'm going to give you a few tricks that I've tried out over the years with my 5 kids, and what helps me. So let's look at number one first. I want you to think of a garden. Okay, we're gonna write garden work. Okay, I don't actually mean I want you to go out and work in the garden. But I want you to imagine my garden right now in my backyard. It's horrible. It's a mess. So I actually planted zucchini. I planted some tomatoes. I planted, let's see, carrots and radishes. But unfortunately, I haven't had a lot of time to take care of it. And well, there's a lot of weeds growing. So, garden's supposed to, look like this and have nice little rows of, there's one row, there's another row of plants, right? Here's my zucchini and my tomatoes and whatever. But what's happening right now, because I just don't have enough time and I'm working on like other things, is well, there's my garden basically looks like this right now. There's like weeds growing everywhere. What happens when there's weeds growing everywhere? Well, fruit can't grow, or it's really hard to get to the fruit. I'm noticing that right now. I wish I could take a picture. I'll have to do that another time. And then you can actually see what it looks like, but I'm not getting a lot of fruit. So I want you to maybe right now grab a piece of paper and I want you to write a list. So grab a piece of paper and you're going to write a list. And in this list, you're going to write out all the weeds that are going on in your life. So, what are the things that are choking out life and choking out fruit? Okay, so for me, a few years ago, it was like every moment of time alone that I got to myself, all I wanted to do was watch Netflix. Okay, I didn't write enough space here. There's Netflix. There, it's a big list now. Okay, so that was something that choked out a lot of my time. Another thing that takes away a lot of the life and fruit is not having a good structure in my life. Okay, so that was, oh my goodness, that is a U, and that's it. It's a structure. So, um, for instance, not knowing what meals I'm going to cook, it causes me to think too hard about what to eat, and then I get really exhausted just trying to think of things. Another example of structure are like, okay, so let's do like meal planning here. Another thing that I didn't have, oops, is chores for my kids, or just like an idea. My kids would come out, and I'd be like, oh, they need to work on chores. Speaking of which, have you done your chores? Because there's a kid sitting over there. Go to your papa. You probably have chores to do. So we have a chore system, which means I should not have to remind kids all the time, because that actually takes a lot of thought energy on my part to think, and it drains me of resources. And the whole idea of these weeds is to, like, we want to get rid of the weeds, um, get rid of weeds to get resources, to get more like nutrients, resources. Okay, so um, that's why structure is really important. If we don't have structure, it will drain your thought energy and your decision making energy. Another thing that drains life is not having a list system. So, you're thinking, oh, okay, I need to grab um, like a grocery list. Okay. I need sugar. And if you don't write it down, your brain is constantly thinking, okay, I need to pick up sugar. I need to pick up sugar. I need to pick up sugar. And it's like, It doesn't rest. It doesn't relax. So if you're anything like me, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, we need to buy sugar and I really need to remember that. And then you don't sleep properly because you're always thinking about things. So this is what I mean by garden work. I want you to take out this big piece of paper and I want you to think of all of the weeds, all of the things that are draining your resources, draining your decision making processes. And I want you to write them down, because then you're going to have a good idea of what are things that need to be fixed in order, just small tweaks that are necessary in order for you to have more creative energy and more passion to do the things that you actually want to do. So that's the number one thing that you can do today to help you not feel so mentally drained, mentally exhausted. Okay, number two, we're gonna say no. Say no. So what does that mean? Say no. Well, no. So say no. Okay, so there were a few years ago where I had four little ones, and twice a week there was like a mommy, I think you call it like a mommy and me group in Germany. I think it's called a Kabelgruppe because we were in Germany. And I could bring the kids and myself, and we'd go have like a coffee and a breakfast at this little group, and it was really nice. It was nice for the kids. They did little crafts, and we did it like once or twice a week. But I got to a point where I was doing it every week because I thought it was good for the kids, but it started not being good for me. Because you might think that I'm an extrovert. I do like to be around people, but I get really drained when I'm around people all the time. And so when we were going to these groups like once or twice a week, I was finding that I didn't even have energy to go and see my friends who I really wanted to be with. So I kind of like had to make this decision. It's like, do I want to go to these breakfasts, these mommy and me times, because it's good for is it good for me? Like, is it causing me more harm than more goodness for my kids? Do you know what I mean? So in my thought process, I was like, okay, well, I actually think it's important for my kids to have small play dates, like just to be with my friends and their kids. And I don't want to waste all that energy on these extra things, though they're good. They were good. I'm not saying anything was wrong with this mommy and me time, but it was draining my energy. And I felt like all week I was like, I can't do anything else. I didn't want to do anything else. I didn't want to be with any other people. And so I had to make a decision, and I had to say no to something, even if it's good or even if it seems good. So I want you to think, in your life right now, is there something that you're saying yes to because you think it's necessary for your children, or even for yourself? And is it really good for you? Like, when you think about the values that you have in your life, is it something that is bringing you life, or is it exhausting you to a point where you're overwhelmed and frazzle brained and tired every day? So and feel free to say no to even good things, because when you say no to that, you might be saying yes to something that is going to bring you a lot more life. Okay, so when I said no to these groups, I could say yes to the closer relationships I had. I could say yes to my closer friends and really invest more intimate time with them. So number 3 on the tiredness, we're trying to not be so tired anymore, is, are you having daily alone time or quiet time? It's hard to write in this. A daily, let's say quiet time, okay? That's a cue. Are you having a daily quiet time? And for some people, this could be just a daily quiet time with God. It could be a time of the day that your kids are away, that you can just have a time for you and you can drink a coffee. So for an example is, every day after lunch, our kids go away for at least 1 to 2 hours into their quiet time so that I can have my quiet time. And we homeschool. So that means that our kids are with us all the time, every day, all night. We don't have babysitters, not very often. We have 5 kids. They're always around us. They're always asking us questions. We like to be together, but there comes to a point where we need to like have a framework or a boundary that says, okay, mommy needs some alone time. Okay, so this is probably one of the most important things in not being so tired and helping you have more energy is this quiet time. And so how we do it is you grab yourself an anchor point. Very quick lesson on this anchor point. Okay, this is probably the most important thing you need to know about quiet time. Anchor point is anything that you do normally during the day that you can like build quiet time around. So for us, our anchor point is lunchtime. After lunchtime, our kids go into their quiet time and they stay there for at least an hour. They're quiet there for an hour so I can drink a coffee or I can get some work done or I can work on a project or I can clean by myself, whatever I want. Or I can, which will be number 4, is power nap, or I can power nap. Okay, so another help for being tired is power nap, power nap. Let's do power nap. Oh, that's not very big. Let's try that again. Okay, so power napping. I give up. That's supposed to be a highlighter. Okay, so power nap. When we have quiet times and I'm feeling especially tired, I will not do work even though it needs to be done. I will lay down for 20 minutes and close my eyes. I will try to find something for the baby to do. If you have a baby, you know what I mean? You can't always lay down, so I'll try to like put some like pieces of wood on the ground for her to play with or try to get her to sleep at that time. I lay down for 20 minutes and have like a quick power nap because I feel like a power nap works a lot better than a cup of coffee. Normally I pair those two. I have a power nap and then I have a little coffee after as a treat. So that also really helps when you're feeling tired, especially tired. Um, Number 5 is going to bed earlier. Go to bed earlier. Oh, another trick with this. Turn off your dang phone, okay? Turn off your phone, okay? Probably like an hour or so before bed, you should turn off your phone because otherwise your brain is going to be buzzing. And don't make the mistake. I have done this a few times where like I've gone onto like social media and I've seen something that someone said and like it irritated me and that I could not fall asleep after. You don't want to do that. It's not worth it. Turn off your phone, go to bed earlier, and you'll be a much happier mommy. I promise you. So go to bed earlier. Okay, so you are gonna like if you follow these steps, you're gonna have a lot more energy. I promise you, because I've been doing these things slowly, like 1, 2, 3. I've been kind of working off of these my whole mommyhood, and this has really helped me to accomplish things that I didn't think were possible having 5 children, including having and building up a couple businesses and working on blogs and doing extra jobs and well just being more well rested. When you start doing these things you'll find that you're actually a lot more able to do things than running around being frazzled and like I'm exhausted, I don't want to do anything. Yes, I know, we've all been there. So next I want you to do is I want you to write, oops, sorry, this is the first time I'm actually using this, so I don't know what, even if it seems good, look great. Let's do a new whiteboard. Probably quicker if I do it this way. No? New whiteboard. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to write out on another piece of paper things you actually want to do. Okay? I want you to make a list. Want to do, accomplish, whatever. Because we don't want to just have a to-do list. Accomplish. Now you get to see my accomplish. This is horrible. I'm really sorry about my writing on here. It's awkward. Okay, so I want you to write a list of like maybe you have like a new habit that you want to take up, right? Or maybe you have something on your to-do list that you'd like to do, but don't just do to-do lists. Like don't just fill up your time. Like if you have extra time and you're feeling more energetic, don't just get to-dos done. Actually find a new thing to grow in, to learn, new uh thing to learn or to read. Like do something that develops you as an individual, because in the long run when you choose learning, when you choose growing, those that is going to bring you more life and more energy and more excitement. Okay, so if you're constantly on this level of like you're getting your to-dos done, you're constantly finishing the house, then you're going to quench uh, the life potential that you have in you, if that makes sense. And this is the beauty. This is the beautiful garden you want. Oh wow, that's an ugly, ugly flower. Let's try this. Let's color the beautiful flower with a rainbow pen. Okay? Because you want to have a beautiful garden. That's you, your inner life, your inner woman. And when you are learning a new language or reading a new book, it's giving you new ideas and you're growing and you share that with your family and with your kids. And that's what you want energy for, right? Not just to do to-dos, because you're not a maid and you're not a servant. You're an individual who needs to grow. Anyway, these are just a few of the tips that I have because I've been getting a lot of questions on living with multiple children, on parenting. And the one problem that I see over and over again is being tired, being overwhelmed with life. So that's what I just wanted to touch on, being tired today and how I can help you. Just some really easy ways that you can do today. All right. Have a great day. I'm going to say goodbye for now.